Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to do a comparison between my black Picotin 18 and the new cream colored Picotin dupe that I got from Tiffany Fred that I shared on my most recent haul. Some of you I know had expressed some desire to see a comparison between the two, and so I thought we would do that today because frankly it's pretty interesting to me too. So if you want to hear all of my thoughts about whether or not I think one is better than the other, then keep listening. So for those of you who are maybe unfamiliar with the Picotin, this is actually the Picotin 18. I don't know if it's because, I think maybe it's because of the height, although this dimension is also 18, but this dimension is not. This dimension is like 14 and a something. I don't know. I think it has to do with the height of the bag, to be honest with you, because this is 18 as well. Anyway, the Picotin is basically just a bucket bag. It is one, I shouldn't say one piece of leather, but it is unfinished leather. So the inside of the bags are the suede other side of the leather, right? So this is Clement's leather, and instead of it having like an additional leather lining like my Birkin and Kelly do, it's just the raw suede that's on the inside. And just, you don't see that, but it says Hermes Paris made in France at the bottom there. It does have 4 feet on the bottom, and then basically its closure is just this like strap mechanism that when you put the lock on it, it pulls this down so that then the bag sort of stays closed. It's basically a handheld, or crook the arm bag. As you can see, it does not, unless you have teeny tiny little arms, it is not, meant to be a shoulder bag. But yeah, it's just like I said, an open bucket. Now I do normally have this organizer in it. This is from Samorga that I got obviously quite a few years ago now. And then this actually is an aftermarket strap. If I can remember where, I think it was an Etsy store. If I can find it in my Etsy history, I will try to link it below. But basically what it does is it turns your Picotin into like a shoulder or crossbody bag. So this is, I think, also Clement's leather, if I remember correctly. Obviously it's not Hermes Clement's leather, but you basically just put this on here, and then it's got this like push like that goes through, and then you just put the other one on the other side. I haven't used this of course I haven't used the bag in a long time too. So it looks like that then. It almost kind of gives you the look of a Lindy bag when you do this, right? It has sort of a similar strap attachment that a Lindy does. I'll get up and do some mod shots maybe of this with it like this, but obviously, like I said, this is not, part of the bag. And then if you're not, wanting to wear it, you can just kind of let it dangle or do something on the back. Anyway, that's just kind of a little extra. But like I said, I do normally have this organizer in it. I don't really use it as an organizer. I don't put anything in the pockets. But with this, no, it just sits in there. And like I said, it just sort of makes it. The Picotin has a tendency to, as you can see, it's a very unstructured slouchy bag, right? It's very soft, it's very malleable. Because it's only just the one piece of leather, it can start to sort of sag a little bit, sort of fall in and on itself. I mean, you can sort of almost see it as it sits here, it sort of kind of collapses in. So having an insert in there sort of helps matters. But anyway, that is what a Picotin looks like in case you haven't seen one before. So let's take a look at the Tiffany and Fred bag. It has the 2 handles. It does also have this strap thing that goes across with a lock at the bottom. It has the 4 feet, and it is also just one big open compartment. The interior is, again, the raw leather, and it just says Tiffany and Fred at the bottom there. So, visually, it, and has the same, I guess, attributes as the actual Hermes Picotin. All right, so let's talk about what's the same and what is different. So obviously, we talked about the different attributes. They have the same shape, they have the same sort of locking mechanism, if you want to call it a locking. It's not really a closure, but whatever you call it, whatever you want to call it, the same bucket style, same 4 feet. As far as dimensions go, they are very, very similar. They might be off by a millimeter or two here or there. I will say, that the handles, again, also might be a millimeter narrower across than the Picotin. I will say, however, though, when it comes to weight, this one is definitely lighter. It's about 25% lighter than the Picotin. I weighed them on my food scale in grams because that's what I have it set to, and this was like 400 and something, 450, 460, I don't know, something grams, and this was like 330. It was basically about 110 gram difference. So I'm sorry, I don't know what the conversion is, but all of you, metric people out there probably are so happy that I just gave it to you in grams. But anyway, it's definitely lighter, okay? So let's talk about the differences here, because that's what you guys all really want to know, right? So the biggest differences that I'm going to tell you between this and the, actual Hermes Picotin is the quality of the leather, the thickness of the leather, and the finishing of the product. So the Hermes Picotin has glazing on all of the edges, basically. So the edges of the handle, the edges of the top of the bag, the edges of, the little strap thingy-ma-ba, whatever we want to call that. This, however, does not. So it does thankfully have glazing on the handles, right? Which is probably the most important, because that's where you're holding the bag and that's where you need it to be comfortable in the hand, right? You wouldn't want it to be a raw edge that would, irritate your hand or whatever. And they did actually glaze the strap thingy, but what they didn't glaze is the top of the bag, and it's rough. I mean, I don't think you're gonna like slice your hand open or anything like that, but it's not very nice to the touch, but sticking your hand in, you're gonna feel it a little bit. Honestly, I don't know, maybe mine's defective and it's supposed to. I don't know. If any of you have bought this bag, and I know I've seen in my analytics that a few of you since my initial reveal of this bag, I believe, have purchased it. So let me know when you get yours, if you've ordered this particular bag, because they have many others on the website that are also great dupes. I'd be curious to know, like maybe I just got a bad one. I don't know. Like I said, let me know in the comments below. But that, what I would say is, like I said, the major difference is that they did not glaze the top of the bag, and that just the leather it's not super great quality. Is it a decent quality? Sure. It doesn't smell weird. It doesn't have any like weird chemical smell or anything like that. It's just this interior, while I guess it's suede, feels a little more like felt, almost a little bit. It's just not as soft, and just like I said, not the same quality of the interior of the Clemence leather, which that suede just feels very soft to the touch and, very thick. If you compare the thickness of the leathers, this one is definitely thinner, which obviously then leads to it being not as heavy, right? Now, one thing that I will note, and I do not have it here, but I actually ordered the Amazon version of this bag, and I've seen several different creators, more on Instagram. I don't know that I've seen any YouTube creators talk about the Amazon bag, but I've definitely seen quite a few Instagram influencers talk about the Amazon bag. So I thought I'll order it. It was about 60, maybe 60 some odd dollars. I do believe it was supposed to be genuine leather. I opened that bag and it was returned to the UPS store within about 2.3 hours of me opening the box. Yeah, it was that not good. I'm not gonna say it was bad. You know, I mean, it was only $60, so I guess what could you expect? But it felt so flimsy. Like, this actually has some, I mean, you can see, because, you know, obviously my bag is not brand new, and so it's definitely, you know, slouching a lot more. I mean, if I hold mine in the same manner, you know, you definitely see mine has, you know, is starting to get a little saggy, even though I've got the organizer in there. But, you know, the top, because of the weight, it's gonna start, you know, sort of coming in on itself a little bit. This being brand new is, you know, definitely has a lot of structure. That other one just literally just like, I mean, it was like this on itself. I mean, it was just a complete and utter, as, you know, Minnie would say for Minx for All, a beautiful mess, but it wasn't even beautiful. It was just very unattractive, from my opinion. So yeah, it was an immediate no for me. I was really excited to get it. I was, you know, like I said, I'd seen quite a few people talk about it and say how great it was. Now, if you don't own a Picotin, then maybe you would think it's great. Given the fact that I own one, did not think it was so great, and frankly, didn't think that it was worth even the $60. So, you know, it was interesting when I ordered this one, which I think after the discount and whatever was around $160 maybe-ish. So about $100 probably more than the Amazon one. I would say the $100 is well worth the investment. Not to mention, this comes in a bunch of different colors. You can get it in sort of the standard gold. You can get it in, I think, a taupe kind of color. You can get it, it comes in a really pretty green, which may or may not be something I might be adding. It comes in this beautiful purple too, which is another color that I love. It comes in a really pretty, like, soft, you know, pink. It comes, actually the one I thought about ordering was like this color, and it had the like gold or tan handles. So the handles and the strap, so maybe then also this part may have been, since it's sort of part of the strap, that could have been that gold too. So it's sort of a two-tone effect. It comes in black as well. So that comes in a lot more color choices. The Amazon one, I believe, only, I think, comes in a taupe. I think that's the only color that it comes in. But for me personally, given the fact that I want to carry the bag, I didn't feel like that one, the Amazon one, was worth carrying. Even at $60, I just knew I wouldn't carry that bag. And again, maybe it's because I own, you know, the actual version of the bag, that it just didn't feel right in my hand, I guess, to me. I mean, it wasn't like it was horrible, like falling apart or anything like that. I just knew how different it felt than my, you know, actual Hermes bag, that I knew it would end up being a waste of $60 and I would never carry it. This one, however, I am super excited to use, and I have it, you know, sitting on the shelf basically right next to its, you know, actual cousin, I don't know what you want to call it, cousin by marriage, maybe, on the shelf, and it looks, you know, like I said, very nice next to it, and I'm excited to use it. So the $64,000 question, would I recommend this bag? Absolutely. I think it is great. For $160, you know, less than $200, I think this bag is a great alternative. If you are looking and you are thinking about wanting this bag, you know, this is something that you want to ask your sales associate for, whatnot. And I know these are getting harder and harder to get. And this is $3,300. I just looked it up online before I started filming. I believe the new price of the Picotin 18 for 2024 is $3,300. This is $160 and change, roughly. So make sure you love the style before you start playing any games. I mean, even though you don't technically have to play any games to get a non-quota bag, some of the non-quota bags, especially a Picotin 18 or an Evelyn TPM, for example, are very difficult to get in boutique. Not as hard as a quota bag, but in general, you still can't just walk in and buy one because they sell so quickly. Every once in a while, you'll see them on the website, and they are immediately purchased by bots, which is really unfortunate. But like I said, for $160 and change to try the style, I think it's amazing. You know, for me, I already have this one. I love it. I know I love the style. I wanted to give this a try, you know, one, to see what the quality was like, but two, because, you know, I thought this would be a great color to add to my collection, to have. I think it'll be a great spring, summer bag. It's lightweight. Like I said, I have really enjoyed carrying my Picotin already, even though it's handheld or crookedy arm, because it's so lightweight and because this one is even lighter. It's such a breeze to carry, even when just walking around the city or taking public transportation. So yeah, I would definitely take the plunge. I would definitely say it's worth the money. Well, that's it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this little comparison video of the Hermes Picotin versus the Tiffany and Fred bucket bag, I guess we'll call it. Let me know in the comments below. Like I said, I know some of you, I think, have purchased some, so hopefully you'll get yours soon. So when you do, drop a comment in the comment box below. Let me know how you love your bag, and let me know what colors you guys got, or if you got anything else from the Tiffany and Fred website. I think I may have mentioned, you know, they've got peekaboos. I thought about maybe buying one that looks like a peekaboo. I could do a same review type of thing. Let me know if that's something you're interested in the comments below. I could certainly do that, you know, that scientific experiment for you if that's what you'd like me to do. But anyway, like I said, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. It does help the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed, again, I'm getting really close. I think we are like 200 people away from hitting the 4,000 subscriber mark. And I do have a bag to open, my first bag of 2024. I bought it and I'm just, I guess, saving it. I didn't have to, I didn't buy it with that purpose, but I thought it would be a nice way to mark the milestone. So it is sitting in its box, waiting to be revealed when we get to 4,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, and you know, it doesn't cost you anything, by the way, if you can do that, I would greatly appreciate it. If you haven't had enough of me yet, I will pop another video up here for you to watch. And wherever you are, I hope you are having an amazing day or evening, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.